Good morning. What a beautiful sky. Good morning. That's one of the beautiful things about summer when people are on vacation. They go out and see nature. And nature is so wholesome for us, for our mind and our soul and our heart. It's good to take quiet time in nature. Thank you, thank you. Obviously, some people who follow the sunrise stroll and chat, I haven't met them yet. We have two groups here from the New York area, from Hispanic parishes. From the Bronx area, and I'm not sure where the other one is from. These people over here are praying, I think. Imagine one of these little plants could become a tree like this. Great things in nature have small little beginnings. You think of a little seed, the little sperm of the fish becomes a whale. The little fertilized egg that becomes an Einstein and a Beethoven. And today we see something beautiful in that regard, how a small act of kindness can blossom into an amazing flower of receiving a child. In our world today, many couples have fertility issues and find it very difficult to procreate a child. And it's not a new problem. There are many cases of the whole story of Abraham and his wife, Sarah. It's a story also of infertility for a long time. And we have other very well-known stories like John the Baptist's parents, Zachariah and Elizabeth. Also the parents of Samson. Also the parents of, I'm making a mistake here, of, oh boy, my brain isn't coming in. You remember the guy, it's not coming to me right now. That's life. What am I going to do? A lot of people were through here. It's very beaten down here. There are many stories of that gift of prayer leading to conceiving a child. And in this case, it starts with acts of kindness and hospitality. Acts of kindness and hospitality that are based on faith. You know, there's a vertical dimension in our lives that we shouldn't estimate. We're not just on a horizontal plane. There's a dimension that goes deep down into the roots of our being, and that goes way up to the blossoming of our definitive life after death in glory. And that's a huge vertical that cuts across upward all of the across dimension of our normal, what we see here, the lake and the sky and the people and the families and the work. There's all the stuff we see here on our level. This park needs a lot of cleanup, so it means there were a lot of people here over the weekend camping. It's begun to be cleaned up, it's gathered, but it needs a lot more cleanup. So we have all this horizontal level here, sometimes a lot of trash and difficulties and challenges and tears. But we have a vertical dimension that cuts right up through everything from the roots of our being to the peak of our life. That's a bit the logic of the readings today. We have this couple not too far from Mount Tabor area, and they receive Elisha the prophet, the one who followed Elijah. And that's our first reading today. And they're very kind, and they even prepare quarters for Elisha and the fellow who was helping him. It's not a name I've heard used very much, or ever actually. Let's see if I just get a little reminder here. Gehazi. Maybe it's used in Hebrew, I do not know. But this is the assistant of Elisha, Gehazi. And Elisha asked him, what can we do for them? What do they need? What a beautiful question that everybody needs to ask. What can I do for this person? What do they need? What can I do for this person? What do they need? And that's what the couple did. We don't have their names. Maybe they're in another part of the text. And this unnamed couple is thinking, what can we do for Elisha the prophet? Because he's a prophet. He's a man of God. What can we do to help? Is there some need we can take care of? What a marvelous way to live. These children given to me are such a precious gift. What can I do for them? My parents failing in health, what can I do for them? My neighbor has a car breakdown, what can I do for them? I saw that so often. I've mentioned it a number of times when I was working in the States, especially in the Ohio Valley. And if a mom was not so well, or maybe expecting a baby or giving birth or just had a new baby, or there's a bereavement in the family, I've seen that also here. All the people bring food, they organize, They make sure they have a good cooked meal once a day at least, so that that pressure and burden is taken off the, the immediate provider, especially the mom. And what a beautiful way to live, to think, who needs my help today? I'm buying stuff at the groceries, and I could get a couple of extra things for a neighbor, for a relative, even for somebody at work, you know. What a way to live. And this shows up in the gospel in the exact same logic. And Jesus said, if you give even a glass of water to somebody because he's a disciple, you will have eternal reward. Can you imagine what that means, to have eternal reward? And some people give it less water, but maybe this guy is a truck driver. We just saw the end of his truck going down there. And he does he watches somebody that's driving with difficulty and takes care how he's driving. And creates a little more space for a car in trouble, for somebody that's a bit distracted. To think, what do the others need? Other people might come by and just blow the horn and say, get out of my way, you know. What do the others need? What do the others need? How that changes family life. And sometimes it's a struggle for teenagers to learn. But if they're taught from an early age, little children, it could be easier for them to have that logic. Then I'm pretty low on battery. I tried to charge before we got out here this morning. It was empty and I slept to the end, thanks be to God. So I had to wait a little for the battery to charge, and it's going to be short now. So I let you go with this thought. There's a lot more. There's some very big other dramatic themes. We'll talk about them, God willing, at Mass. And I'm happy that a lot of you are seeing the videos from Einsiedeln in Switzerland that are posted. You should go and see them in the YouTube, especially in the YouTube channel here. You have it linked here from on the Facebook post, I think. I can check that and maybe add it there if it's not in there, so you can catch up with those beautiful stories. A lot of people have made very nice comments about it, and I appreciate that you have seen it and share in that wonder of also history, throughout history, how many people have done things for others. Artists who work very hard and sometimes in difficult positions doing ceiling paintings. And what a blessing that is for generations, for centuries. Somebody who has the trouble of writing a book by hand. One of those ancient books you saw in the library of Einsiedeln. And that was over 1,000 years ago. And that book is still there to give us joy and pleasure and to ponder the goodness people did for others. So many ways. People who built this little road here, gravel road. And that's been such a blessing for joggers and people walking and all kinds of... So I need a little piece for Instagram. God bless you. See you later, alligators. It's great to be back here in Magdala. Have a blessed Sunday, blessed week.